Hello everyone, welcome back to iFarouq Dev channel. In our introduction episode, I have shown you how the app is working, and in this episode I'm going to set up my environment with you guys along with the languages we are going to use. This chat app is built by combining languages, framework, and libraries. But in this episode, we are only going to set our project environment with the frameworks and libraries. The languages we are going to use are HTML, CSS, JavaScript, PHP, and MySQL. The frameworks are Bootstrap, jQuery, and Ajax. The libraries are .env Library and PHP Mailer Library. From here, I will assume that you already have your PHP and MySQL ready by having your favorite local server installed on your computer. So the next thing is to create the project and give it name by creating new folder in your server root path, then start setting up your environment. You can drag your project folder from your root path and drop it into your IDE. I will start by setting my app folders or directories, which are Ajax files folder, CSS files folder, DB connection, images, JS files, includes, and sounds. In CSS files folder, we are going to need Bootstrap folder for our Bootstrap CSS files. In images folder, we are going to need favicon for browser's tab icon, and the users folder for storing users' profile photos. In the inks folder, we are going to need additional two folders, mailers for mailing query files, and modals folder for Bootstrap modal files. And lastly, in JS files folder, we are going to need another two folders as well, the Bootstrap folder for Bootstrap JS files and the jQuery folder for jQuery files. Now that I have set my app directories, the next thing on the list is to set up my frameworks. On this aspect, we only need Bootstrap and jQuery. The Ajax is using jQuery's library. To set up my Bootstrap, I will need to visit getbootstrap.com. After the page finishes loading, navigate to Docs in the menu bar, then to Download. From here, you can choose any version you would like to use. You can also download the files if you need it, or use them directly online. You can use the direct link which is given down here as a code snippet. I will do neither. I will choose to use the link. Open the new tab and paste it there. Copy the raw code. Then come back here in my CSS files, Bootstrap, open new file, paste the code. Then name the file my way. Bootstrap, just the CSS, or you can say Bootstrap 5 in the CSS. Then I'll do the same thing with the Bootstrap JS code. You see the file is here, and the CSS Bootstrap file is also here. As for Bootstrap icons, I will need to visit icons.getbootstrap.com. Then scroll all the way down the page. Copy the CDN code snippet which is here and paste it between your HTML head tag. You might ask, why am I using Bootstrap icons direct link instead of having a raw code as I did to CSS and JS Bootstrap files? Yes, the reason is that Bootstrap icons are not working that way. If you want it to work perfectly, you only have three options. Option 1 is to download it using Composer or NPM. Option 2, you will have to use the direct link as I did. Or option 3 is to download the raw icons as SVG files. Then use SVG tag in your HTML code to load icons on your web pages. So the choice is yours to make. But my own point of view here, using direct link will be much easier and straightforward. So after you copy the link, you can paste it in your HTML head tag. We haven't come to that yet, but we'll do it later. To set up my jQuery, I will need to do a simple Google search, which is type jQuery. Click on the first link in the page. It will redirect you to the jQuery CDN version page. The latest version is jQuery 3.7.1. So choose the uncompressed version. Here, I will follow the same procedure as I did to the Bootstrap CSS and JS files. Use the link here. Open your browser tab, paste it, then copy the root code. Navigate to your jQuery folder here under JS files. Open new file, paste it, then give it a name. Now we have finished the second part of the environment setup. The last thing is to set up our app libraries. The first library is .env library. The .env file is the easy way to load custom configuration variable that your application needs without having to modify .ht access files or Apache and Nginx virtual host. The most important thing about the .env library is that it helps us to keep the app's sensitive information hidden, like database connection information, SMTP ports, API keys, and other similar sensitive data. It's very simple to implement the .env library in your project. To do that, you can simply type .env library or php.env in your browser search bar. Check the GitHub link down here. It will take you to the .env GitHub repository. You will need to follow the steps in order to install it perfectly on your machine. To do that, it requires Composer dependency to be installed first on your machine. Then copy this code, composer require vlookup/php.env. Go back to your project root path, open option on your main project folder, navigate to services and open new terminal tab. Paste the code, but you have to make sure you didn't include this $sign. Then hit enter. Now the library has been installed successfully. The only thing that remains now is to start setting up your .env file using .env library, but we will do that later when necessary. However, I will drop the .env file in my GitHub repository to make it more easier for you to implement. The next and last setup is PHP Mailer Library. PHP Mailer Library is a library that helps developers send emails to their users by implementing the library in their code. The PHP Mailer is also simple to implement. To do that, you will need to type PHP Mailer in your browser search bar. Use the first link here. It will redirect you to the PHP Mailer GitHub repository. Follow the steps to install the library. It's also recommended to be installed using Composer. Copy this link as we did to the .env library. Go back to your terminal, paste it, and hit enter. The next step after the installation is to download the PHP Mailer zip files. Here it is. Click on the link and file is going to be downloaded automatically. Navigate to your download folder, unzip the file, copy or move it to your project folder. Then rename the folder to just PHP Mailer. Once you have done that, your project environment is ready. The next thing to do is to start building your application. So that's all for today. In the next episode, we are going to start building the app, inshallah. I hope you enjoy and find this episode useful. If you do, kindly like, leave a comment and subscribe to the channel for the upcoming updates if you haven't. Until next time, always make hope and never give up.